This is Andrew Klavan on The Culture. Once upon a time, there was an enchanted place called Imagination Land, where everything was just as wonderful as you could make believe it was. There were no evil religions in Imagination Land because to say there were would have been hateful. Men and women were equal in everything because it was mean to say they weren't. And no matter what they did to their children, the kids were all right, because otherwise their parents would have felt guilty. And of course, there was always enough money to pay for everything everyone wanted here, because if there hadn't been, it wouldn't have been fair. Now, one day to Imagination Land, there came a magic suit of clothes named Barack. Although no one could prove he had ever been born, whenever anyone asked him his opinion on difficult issues, he always said present, so he must have been there. His closest associates were hate-mongers, terrorists, and racketeers, and yet he never did anything wrong, because no one would say he had. And though the magic suit had never accomplished a single thing of importance, in Imagination Land he was able to take the shape of some of the greatest men the country had ever produced. Not only that, he had the power to do amazing things. He must have had, because he said he would.
This was the moment when the rise of the oceans began to slow and our planet began to heal.
When there's a bill that ends up on my desk as president, you, the public, will have 5 days to look online and find out what's in it before I sign it.
I have ordered the closing of the detention center at Guantanamo Bay.
We have already identified $2 trillion in deficit reductions that will help us cut our deficit in half by the end of my first term.
So wonderful was the magic suit that the people of Imagination Land made him their president. And everyone was happy. Good job, magic suit, they said. Good job. But one day, as Barack the magic suit was walking through the cheering throngs of his admirers, a terrible voice came out of the radio. The voice said, "Wait, wait, the magic suit has quadrupled the deficit. He raised the debt more in 2 years than it was raised in the previous 8. Unemployment remains staggeringly high. Gas prices are out of control. House prices are tanking. The health care plan is a horrible mess. Our foreign policy is weak and chaotic. Our laws are being unfairly enforced, and our Constitution unconscionably ignored. Look, look, everyone," said the radio voice. "The magic suit isn't wearing any president." A hush fell over the crowd. Everyone was shocked. But suddenly, first one, then another of the people began to shout. And they shouted louder and louder until no one could hear the radio anymore. And everyone was happy again, because this was Imagination Land.